The night the meteor fell, Elias Quinn thought it was just another storm. Lightning rumbled over the ridges, and rain turned the old farm road into a river of mud. He was on his way home from the town scrapyard when he saw the light, white, sharp, and silent, cutting across the sky before vanishing behind the woods. Then came the impact, a dull, distant hum. He stopped the truck, engine sputtering, and stared toward the trees. Curiosity beat out good sense. By the time he reached the crater, steam curled off the wet soil. The air smelled of ozone and burnt metal. At the center lay something smooth and silver, shaped like an egg the size of a small car. It hissed. Elias stumbled back just as the shell cracked open and a figure spilled out. A small, hairless girl, skin pale as frost, eyes huge and glassy. She was barefoot, trembling, covered in streaks of ash and rain. For a long moment, neither moved. Then she looked up at him, lips trembling, cold. Her voice was soft, fractured, like she had learned human speech from a broken recording. Two, the stranger in his barn. He couldn't leave her there. Elias carried her to his truck, wrapped in a tarp. She was light, too light. Her skin was smooth, almost translucent, with faint veins that glowed faintly blue under the dashboard light. Back at the farm, he set her down on a cot in the old barn. She didn't resist, just watched him quietly, eyes darting from object to object. The lantern, the rain dripping to the roof, the sound of thunder. "You got a name?" he asked. She shook her head. "You understand me?" She hesitated, then nodded slightly. "All right, we'll start there." Over the next few hours, he tried to talk, to get some kind of answer, where she came from, what happened. But every time, she'd just whisper one word: gone. Elias didn't press. He gave her dry clothes, warm soup, and space. When she fell asleep, curled up like a child, he watched her for a while, wondering if she was human at all. Her fingers were too long. Her skin shimmered faintly. And when she breathed, her ribs lit up in soft blue pulses, like bioluminescence. 3, the bath. The next morning, she was standing by the window when he came in. The rain had stopped. Sunlight spilled across her face, and for a moment she looked almost human. Delicate, confused, lost. "You'll catch something if you don't clean up," Elias said, handing her a towel and pointing to the washroom in the corner. "Water's warm. You can use it." She looked at the bucket of water, as though she'd never seen it before. "It's fine," he said, smiling. "Go on." She nodded slowly and stepped inside. 10 minutes later, he heard the scream. Elias ran in and found her on the floor beside the tub, shaking violently. The water was still running, spilling over the edge. She was staring at her hands, at her reflection in the water, whispering something over and over in a language he couldn't understand. Hey, stop," he said, kneeling beside her. "It's okay. You're safe." She looked up, eyes wide and glassy. "Not safe," she said, voice trembling. "Not me? Not me." He wrapped her in the towel, lifting her out of the water. Her skin burned cold to the touch. When he turned off the tap, he saw it, the way her reflection flickered. For a split second, it wasn't her face staring back, but hundreds, flickering in and out, dissolving into static. Her scream echoed through the barn. For the fracture. She wouldn't speak after that. For 2 days, she sat in silence, eyes fixed on the window, barely eating. Sometimes she would touch the water bucket, then recoil as if burned. Once, Elias found her whispering to herself in that strange, melodic tongue, tears streaking down her face. He started leaving notes beside her cot. Simple things. "My name is Elias. You're safe here. You can stay as long as you need." One morning, she wrote something back, scrawled in shaky handwriting. "They washed us away." Elias frowned. "Who did?" She didn't answer. 5, the storm returns. That night, the power died again. The storm had returned, louder this time, wind tearing through the trees. Elias was checking the generator when he saw her standing outside, barefoot in the mud, staring up at the sky. The light from the crater had returned, a faint, pulsing beam in the clouds. He ran to her. "You shouldn't be out here." She turned slowly. "They're calling." Her voice was steady now, calm, almost peaceful. "Who's calling you?" "My kind." She looked at him, eyes glowing faintly. "But I'm not them anymore." Elias grabbed her shoulders. "Then don't go. Stay here. Whatever you are, you don't have to go back." Her expression softened. "You don't understand. I was never supposed to feel. The water, your water." Show me what I lost. What did you lose? Her voice broke. A name, a life, everything. 6. The memory in the water. She led him back to the barn, where the rain dripped steadily through the roof. Watch, she whispered. She reached into the bucket of water, and the surface rippled, glowing with faint blue light. Images formed, flashes of a great ship falling apart, of dozens of figures like her, hairless and pale, suspended in glass pods. Then machines, needles, the sound of screaming. They erased us, she said softly, made us perfect, no fear, no memory. But when I touched your water, it remembered me. The vision dissolved, leaving only ripples. Elias stared at her, speechless. You were part of an experiment. She nodded, a weapon that forgot what it was. 7. The fire and the choice. Before he could respond, a distant rumble shook the ground. Light flared in the woods. Blue, electric, moving closer. Her face went pale. They found me. Through the rain, Elias saw shapes moving, drones, silver and insect-like, scanning the area with harsh beams. They'll take me, she said. They'll burn this place. You should go. He grabbed his old rifle. Not happening. The drones descended, beams sweeping across the farm. Elias fired once, twice, barely slowing them. The girl raised her hands, and the air vibrated. A shock wave burst outward, shredding the nearest drone to pieces. But the effort drained her. She fell to her knees, gasping. Go, she cried. He lifted her, carrying her toward the truck. I'm not leaving you here. You don't understand, she whispered. If they take me, they'll take what I became, human. Elias looked into her eyes, saw the reflection of fire, of the blue glow spreading through the fields. Then he made his choice. 8. The flood. He drove straight into the crater. The remaining drones followed, light slicing through the rain. As the truck hit the crater's edge, Elias grabbed the emergency fuel canister and hurled it into the open fissure. Hold on, he shouted. The explosion tore through the ground. Fire and water erupted together, drowning the machines in smoke and mud. When it was over, the crater was silent. Elias crawled from the wreck, coughing. The girl lay beside him, still breathing faintly. Her skin flickered with fading blue light. It's over, he said. She smiled weakly. For me. He shook his head. You're coming with me. No, she whispered. This was the last memory I needed, to be seen, to be saved. That's enough. She reached out and touched his face. Her hand was warm now, human warm. Then her body dissolved into light, soft, golden, and weightless, rising slowly into the storm. Elias watched until the last spark vanished into clouds. 9. Aftermath. Weeks later, government survey teams found nothing but scorched soil where the crater had been. No wreckage, no drones, no alien signatures. Elias never told them what he saw. He rebuilt the barn. He fixed the roof. And every morning, he left a cup of water on the windowsill. Sometimes, when the dawn light hit just right, the surface would shimmer faintly, blue, gentle, alive, and he'd hear a whisper, barely audible. Thank you for giving me back my name. 10. Epilogue. Years later, explorers orbiting Valera 9 detected faint energy pulses matching no known technology, human or otherwise. The signal was soft, rhythmic, almost like breathing. Some said it was background radiation. Others said it was the hum of something remembering. On a quiet farm below, Elias sat by the window, listening to the rain. And when lightning flashed, for just an instant, he saw her standing in the field again, barefoot, hairless, and smiling through the storm.